At 67, alone in a kitchen so quiet I could hear the refrigerator hum, I did something I had never done in all my years of praying. I stood at the counter and said out loud into the empty room, "Well, God, it's just the two of us tonight." And my own voice startled me. If these honest words are a comfort to you, take a moment and subscribe to Faith After 60 so we can keep walking this road together. It was a Tuesday, 9:30. The dishes were done, and there they sat in the drying rack. One plate, one cup, one fork. That was all it took to feed me now, and the sight of it had stopped hurting so much that it just looked normal. The house was still, not peaceful still, the kind of still where the fridge hums louder than it should. And you notice because there is nothing else to notice. For most of my life, I prayed the careful way, eyes shut, hands folded, the right words in the right order, all of it silent, tucked inside my own head. I prayed like I was writing a letter to someone important, someone who might read it later and grade it. Dear God, I hope this finds you well. Forgive my mistakes. Amen. Neat, tidy, polite. And it was fine, for years. But something about that night was different. And I want to be honest with you about what it was. My husband was gone. Our children had their own kitchens now, their own noise, their own lives filling up. And here is the small thing that undid me. Nobody had spoken my name out loud in that house for 3 days. 3 whole days. I had answered the phone. I had said thank you to the girl at the grocery counter. But my own name, spoken warmly into a room, the way someone says it when they love you, I hadn't heard it in 3 days. So that night, I didn't wait to be spoken to. I spoke first. And the sound of my own voice in that empty kitchen, ordinary and a little shaky, honestly, it startled me. I almost looked around, as if someone might have heard, as if I'd done something I wasn't allowed to do. Let me name the ache here, because I think you may be carrying it too. It isn't the being alone that undoes us. Truly, it isn't. Plenty of us have made a good, quiet peace with our own company. It's something smaller and sharper than that. It's the not being heard. It's the words that pile up in your chest all day with nowhere to go. The thought you would have turned and said to someone if someone were there. The little joke, the worry, the what should I have for supper. They gather in you, and they have no door. That night, mine finally found one. I had said my one startled sentence out loud, and here is what I didn't expect. Once I started, I couldn't seem to stop. The small things began to come, one after another, spoken right there into the room, like a friend was sitting at my kitchen table waiting to hear them. So I told him the porch light needed a bulb, just like that, out loud, into the quiet, the most ordinary little thing, that the bulb by the back door had burned out weeks ago, and I kept forgetting to change it, and every night the step outside sat there in the dark. And then more came. I said I missed the sound of 2 coffee cups instead of 1. That small clink in the morning. 2 cups set down on the counter, one for him, one for me. Now there was one. Just the one mug, warm in my hands, and a silence where the second cup used to be. I didn't plan any of it. The words just came, one after another, the way they do when you finally stop holding them in. Then the harder things came too. I told him I was tired, not the kind of tired that sleep fixes, the deeper kind. I said I was a little scared, and I hadn't said that word out loud to a single soul, and I told him I didn't know how to fill so many hours. The days felt so long and so empty, and I didn't know what to do with all of them. Here is the strange part. For years I had prayed the careful way. Eyes shut, hands folded, the right words in the right order, all of it silent inside my own head. I prayed like I was writing a letter to someone important, someone who might read it over and grade my penmanship, neat, proper, careful. But standing there at 9:30, talking to the ceiling of my own kitchen, none of that carefulness was left in me. I was just talking, plain and honest. the way you talk to a friend sitting right across the table. And at one point, I laughed out loud, alone in the kitchen. I actually laughed at myself standing there, having a full conversation with the air. It felt so strange. A grown woman of 67, chatting away to an empty room, like there was someone in the other chair. And yet the laugh felt good. It felt loose. It felt like something old and tight in my chest was letting go. Because here is the thing I keep turning over, even now. Talking like that, like a friend was already there, did something praying like a letter never had. When I prayed silently, I was still performing a little, still choosing the tidy words. But talking out loud, I couldn't hide behind the tidy words. I just said what was true. And saying what was true plainly felt different than anything I had done in all my careful years. Let me stop right here for a moment, because I'd love to hear from you. If you live alone after 60, tell me in the comments where the quiet gets loudest in your day. Is it the morning, the moment after supper, that first hour after the light goes out? Wherever it is for you, I'd truly like to know. And if these words are meeting you tonight, subscribe and stay a while. I'd love for you to keep walking this road with me. Now back to that kitchen. I kept talking into the empty room, one true sentence after another. And then came the part I still can't fully explain, because the moment I spoke my heart out loud, something happened. The room itself stopped feeling empty. And here is the part I keep turning over. Even now, saying the words out loud made them real. That's the whole of it. When they were just thoughts, they stayed stuck in my chest, going in circles, heavy and dark, and going nowhere. But the moment I spoke them into that quiet room, they had somewhere to go. They left me, and being real made them lighter. I had prayed silently for more years than I can count. Careful prayers, folded hands, the right words in the right order, and silent praying is a good and holy thing. Please hear me on that. But that night, speaking out loud did something the silence never had. The weight in me finally had a door. I stood at that counter, one cup drying in the rack, the refrigerator humming behind me, and I told God the true things, that I was tired, that I missed the sound of a second coffee cup, that I didn't quite know how to fill so many empty hours, and with each sentence my shoulders came down a little more. There is a psalm, and I won't pretend to quote it perfectly, but the comfort of it stays with me. A psalm reminds us we are held even in the dark. For a long time, that was just a nice line to me, words on a page. But that night I felt it, not as a rule I was supposed to believe, as a warmth. One ordinary night at a time, and something shifted in that kitchen. It stopped being a room I only moved through, wiping the counter, turning off the light, climbing the stairs to a quiet bed. It became a place where I was known again, where somebody heard my name spoken, even if the one speaking it was me, out loud, to a God I couldn't see. That's what talking out loud gave me that all my careful, silent prayers never had. It made me feel heard. And you know, it isn't the being alone that undoes us. It's the not being heard. That night, standing there at 9:30, I finally was. I still do it. This isn't a story about one strange night that came and went. I talk to God over the dishes now, my hands in the warm water, the morning light coming soft through the window. I talk to him on the slow mornings before the day has asked anything of me. I talk to him out on my walks, shuffling through the fallen leaves, the red and gold ones catching under my shoes. Not fancy prayers, not the kind you'd write down or say in front of anyone, just ordinary talk. The easy, unguarded talk of two who know each other well and don't have to try so hard. The porch light needs a bulb. The coffee's good this morning. Thank you for this quiet, that kind of talk. So here is the small thing I want you to carry with you tonight. If your house is too quiet right now, if the silence has gotten so loud you don't know what to do with it, try it. Just try it. Say one true sentence out loud into your own kitchen. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be a proper prayer. Say the thing that's sitting on your heart plainly into the room. You may find, as I did, that your own voice surprises you. And then something eases, because the silence was never really empty. It only felt that way. And you, sitting there in your quiet house tonight, you are not as alone as that silence makes you feel. Good night, friend. I'll be here.